Brothers and sisters, welcome. Pro-life leader Frank Pavone here of Priests for Life, bringing you my daily diary. What did I do each day? I think it's important for leaders to let you know what in the world they're doing every day. In fact, hour by hour, because you're helping us do it. What did I do from Monday, June 8th through Wednesday, June 10th of 2026? Okay. I was at the office on Monday morning and worked early at my computer. Things like travel plans, that is trips, pro-life speaking engagements that are coming up on the calendar, planning for those. Missionaries of the Gospel of Life Appeal, that's our pro-life spirituality program, as you know. The 115 Forum, as you know, the leadership meeting of national leaders that we convene every quarter. Truth Uncensored, the new podcast I'm working on with Bishop Aubrey Shines. The Washington Times communication about the special section that we are working with them to produce about the pro-life movement. Newsletter preparation, the pro-life calendar, public sidewalk project, op-eds, articles we are sending out to different publications, approval of appeal letters, and an interview with Jenny Beth Martin, one of the key conservative political figures in the United States and a good friend. Had a 8:40 a.m. national radio interview on Monday morning. And when I finished that, connected with staff for daily work projects, and then at 10 a.m. was right here where I'm sitting now for the live scripture broadcast. More work at my desk. Then at 12 noon, a call with our executive vice president about some matters that we're planning. And then at 1:30, a meeting with our social media and video production team. Continued work at my desk and with various staff here in the office, and taped in the studio in the afternoon our Praying for America political program for that same evening, and then continued with office work the rest of the day. Tuesday, the 9th of June, again, an office work day. Did some taping here in the studio in the morning. I often use those early morning hours for pre-taping for programs that will air when I'm traveling and I can't do them live. At my computer, things like the 115 Forum, the panel for the Abortion Recovery Coalition, approval of appeal letters, the booklet on the reversal of Roe, some promotion work on that, pro-life calendar, correspondence, Jenny Beth Martin communications, plans for the 4th of July, where I had been invited to lead one of the prayers at the big gathering on the National Mall, and work for our Radio Maria weekly national radio program. At 10 a.m., I had the Scripture live broadcast from here. At 11 a.m., I had a 1-hour Zoom call with the Abortion Recovery Coalition, during which call I led a panel about men and abortion. There were several other members there who are experts in men and abortion, and so they had asked me to lead this panel. We had a great conversation together with a couple of dozen ministries that work on healing after abortion in various parts of the country. That was great. And then right after that, right at noon, I had an interview. I was interviewed by Pastor John Amanchukwu, who has a great podcast and loves to have me on. We did that interview here in the studio. I think it went for about 40 minutes or so. Had some lunch, and then at 1:20, I was interviewed on the Jenny Beth Martin show. Again, she's one of the key political leaders in the United States. That was like from 1:20 to 1:40. And then at 1:45, I had a taping for our Radio Maria program that was relatively brief. Right after that, for about 15, 20 minutes, I had a working lunch, a late lunch at just after 2 o'clock with one of our executives, Mark. And we went over to one of our favorite seafood places here. We had a good substantial meeting, came back in the mid-afternoon, and I had to have some meetings with our technology people, and then with Janet, and planning for special projects together with other pro-life groups, and planning for our upcoming trip to Washington. Continued with end-of-the-day work there at my desk. And then in the evening, was back here in the studio for a live broadcast at 8 p.m. for the Good Shepherd Seminar, our training of clergy, our monthly clergy training broadcast. It was really great, went very well, went for about an hour. And then I was signing different cards back in my office that we send out, birthday cards and so forth. And that concluded the day on Tuesday the 9th. And then on Wednesday the 10th, I was up early in here in the studio doing some pre-taping. And then I left at 7 a.m. to go down to Janet's home office in Merritt Island, where we were picked up by a volunteer driver to go to the Orlando airport because we were headed up to Washington, D.C. We got there to the airport. We're doing some work and conversation, business work on the way and on the plane. Did work on my computer on things like, here, let me just get to our trip plan here. Our project with Kurt Dillinger of Life International, our broadcast schedule, content planning for our broadcast, approval of an email blast, some communication with Alveda King, some advice that one of the regional coordinators for Silent No More needed that I sent over to her, 115 forum planning, some data work, technical details, some communications with Father Dennis, our associate director, some communications we're sending over to the Vatican, the National Pro-Life Religious Council, which I lead, and then some communication with our staff about hurricane preparation. Tis the season. Got to Washington, D.C., and we went over to our hotel. Let's see, we had then some work scheduled here to connect with the staff. We had some conversations with one of our executives at 3, and then followed by a meeting with our communications director and webmaster. Janet and I getting together with these staff people, doing various planning with them. We had a 4 p.m. phone meeting with our finance director. All of these things getting done. And then at 4:30, I got an Uber from the hotel over to the studios of Just the News. You might know John Solomon and Amanda Head, key conservative leaders, broadcasters, and they had me on for a pre-taping, actually, for their evening program. Very happy to do that. After I was finished over there at the TV studio, went back to the hotel, where at 6 o'clock started our hospitality. We welcomed the National Pro-Life leaders for the 115 Forum meeting. Now, that meeting was scheduled for the next day, but the night before, we always have a hospitality gathering. So we have some food and beverages and great fellowship for about 3 hours. We did that from 6 to 9 p.m., building those relationships among the national leaders. You want to see the movement work in unity, so do we, and we're helping to make that happen. And then, so it was a nice full day. Went to bed there in the hotel in Washington after all that transpired. That's what I did from June 8th to the 10th, 2026. Hope your days are fruitful, your work is blessed. Together, let's never tire to end abortion. God bless you.
Hello, I'm Father Giacomo Capoverdi, and I'm here from my little place where I would often give my talks and my message from the kitchen of the rectory for Cappuccino with Father Capoverdi. It started during the pandemic, and I kept it going for a while. I haven't done an episode in a while, but I thought I would be here with Priest for Life in this kitchen that's familiar to many people for Cappuccino with Father Capoverdi, and tell you about how I've been affiliated with Priest for Life, and I very encourage people to continue with your pro-life work and the beautiful work you do for the movement in saving lives and trying to end abortion. And the best way and the greatest way we can do that is not only through our activism and being active with pro-life groups and movements, but also most especially to our prayer life and praying to our Blessed Lord and praying to the Blessed Virgin Mary, to various saints that may be our patron saints that have been connected to us throughout our lives, to pray for the unborn and to pray for women, especially in crisis pregnancies, that they pray to God and get the help they need so that all babies that are conceived will be brought to term in their mom's pregnancy and be brought into this world and be great contributors to society, but most especially to God. He wants us to procreate because he wants heaven to be as populated as it can be until his second coming. And may God bless you, and God bless all those who are involved in the pro-life movement.
Follow him, Frank Pavone, Fr. Frank Pavone. He is the National Director of Priests for Life. Please go to priestsforlife.org.
Frank Pavone. Frank, thank you very much.